everybody, it's Debbie West. Welcome to the GAEA Fall Online One-Day Conference. And by the way, we will be coming back together live in March, so be sure to be on the lookout for all that information because I can't wait to see you all on Tybee Island. In the meantime, I've got about 10 minutes to chat with you all about the importance of mentoring and why hashtag mentoring matters. This is a little bit about mentoring Mondays, or how we utilize our retired, AKA Emeritus art teachers, and why that's so important right now. As a retired-ish art teacher, I taught in Gwinnett County for 24 years full-time in the classroom, 1 year subbing, a lot. And now I actually work probably about 80 hours a month versus 80 hours a week with my own company, West Expectations Consulting Company, and also with the Art of Education University. And I like to continue to work with teachers. I think I'll always work with teachers. So I've got a whole bunch of this information in the packet since I only have a short amount of time to chat with you. So I just want to kind of dive in and share a couple tried and true lessons with you guys, almost as though this were a Mentoring Monday episode. And so what we're trying to do in the GAEA as well as the NAEA Emeritus group is to put together these monthly Monday mentoring programs where maybe the seasoned teachers, the new teachers, the pre-service teachers can reach out and ask us questions and say, this is what we need, this is where we're struggling. And let's face it right now, guys, everybody's struggling. It is literally the probably most two difficult years ever in the history of education. So now is absolutely the best time for all of us to reach out and work together because the ultimate winners are always going to be our kiddos. So with that, I just kind of want to talk about 3 tried and true lessons that worked really well in my own teaching, in my own practice. So the first thing I want everybody to do is to grab their visual journal or their sketchbook or whatever you want to call it and take some notes, because this is going to be pretty quick. So you won't actually be able to make the art, but you'll be able to maybe, take down some notes and do some sketching. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the beginning of the year. How many of you guys want to go over the art elements? And you can go over the art elements with your little ones. You can go over the art elements with your big ones. It doesn't really matter. I taught all grade levels. They are going to forget literally within 3 days. You're like, hello, who can name for me an art element? It's like crickets, right? Well, I found a way to make that go away, and it's called the Art Element Ice Cream Cones. These are amazing, and it's this simple, guys. You give your students a piece of copy paper. That's it, copy paper. You have them fold up, you have them fold over, you have them fold down. When they open that up, they're going to actually have 8 areas in which to create miniatures of each of the elements. They're going to have their title here, their line, shape, value, color, texture, space, and form. Now, somewhere in there, they're going to have to write the definition, because if they look up the definition and write down the definition, chances are they're going to remember it a little bit better, and they're going to make their own visual about why these art elements matter. And here's one more thing. Instead of calling them line, shape, value, color, texture, space, and form, why not call them large scoops of vanilla chocolate tastes so fine? Yep, that's a little acronym that I came up with to help my kids remember the elements of art. So after they do this little piece of paper, here's another one for you to look at here. Some of my students that were kind enough to let me borrow theirs for these teaching gigs. So here's another beautiful one. After they put this together and they fold it back up and they've got their little study guide, so to speak, then I give them construction paper. This kiddo used, this is pretty cool, some yarn, some Mod Podge, and some oak tag to create her cone, and have them do their own ice cream cones, whatever they want to do. She added a cherry. She didn't. I even had one kiddo use their little art guide, their little study guide, as the cherry on top of a giant ice cream sundae bowl. Freaking hilarious. So this is a great lesson to start off the year with, where your kids are going to remember the elements of art. Moving on from there, I don't know about you guys, but when I taught elementary, I had 1,322 kiddos on my own. I'm not even kidding you, 1,322, which is actually what made me move on to secondary, to move to North Gwinnett High School, where I then had 188 students, the same kiddos every single day that I got to work with. But no matter what grade level you're working with, you want to know your students. You want to get to know them. So I designed a lesson, which many of us do. So this is just my spin on the name design lesson. And obviously right now all I have is my own name designs. So what I do is I give kiddos sort of like a creative thinking mind map, so to speak, right? It's almost like a flow chart. And I have them write their name in the middle, and you'll see the chart in the handout that I've included with this, where they write their name, and then they write things that maybe they enjoy doing. So for me, I would say I make art. I'm an art teacher. I'm a mom. I'm a friend. I am a musician. I like to play my guitar. I like concerts. I like football, SEC football. Go Cox, go Dogs. Kind of thinking about the things that define you. I like food. I like, I'm spiritual, you know. I have a lot of faith in my heart and in my soul. So again, diving deep into who they are, right? And then from that point on, they're then going to take these words that they write down, and they're going to turn those words into symbols, right? They're going to think about, what does spirituality look like? What does being an artist look like? And use those symbols to create new letters or designs for designing their name. So this is just a long sheet of paper where I was just playing with some mark making, some value scales, what oil pastels do when you blend them around a shape, kind of an interesting spin on the primary colors, and then playing with what my name could look like. So I usually have my kiddos do this in their journal and just do a lot of experimenting. The other thing that really works great with this lesson is collaging, because I like to do this lesson in the beginning of the year, and a lot of the kids are still feeling a little bit threatened, like, I don't know, I can't draw. So have them cut out images in magazines that they can utilize in their artwork. I think I might have one that has a little bit of that. Here's one. So here's one that I just started playing with, where I just kind of wrote my name. Now, I happen to be able to write my name pretty good because graphic design was my first thing. But what if kids are like, oh, my writing's horrible? Well, have them use this thing called a computer, right? And print out the letters in very big, like 350, 400 font. Print these letters out, and then let them use a light table to trace the letters, or use the window to trace the letters, and then come in here and add collage. So there's some chocolate syrup dripping down, and maybe I would turn this into my eye at another date. This is, again, just me doing some quick sketching. Here's another one with some pizza, some paintbrushes, some hearts, and a football. And here's another one I just wrote my name. And again, none of these are finished. This is, by the way, a lot of times what I like to do with my kiddos. I'll start stuff and I'll demo, like, here's one way you can use oil pastel, or one way you can paint with a marker, but I'm not going to finish it because I don't want everybody to copy mine. And then I just put some symbols over here. So the symbols can either become the letters, or the symbols can stand on their own. Totally up to you. I also like, for this lesson, giving them mixed media. So this is watercolor, marker, colored pencil, oil pastel, so that they're getting a feel for how these markers and these utensils and art tools work. And their final pieces are amazing. You're going to see some in the packet, so enjoy. We're running out of time, so the last thing I want to talk about is narrative necklaces. This is sort of a great spin off of the name design lesson that I just talked about. So you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and you can get these little laminate tiles, which are pretty awesome, right? Kids love these tiles. And I just have them collage right on these tiles. So, for example, I've got some magazines here that I've sort of been playing with, and with these magazines I've kind of tore out a couple areas. Like this says, smart eating and healthy life, and that was kind of cool. Inner peace and love, like this has a lot of great words on it. I've also gone ahead and done a little bit of looking for some interesting art, or finding some interesting art that's maybe in my journal. There's some tomatoes there because I love tomatoes. And then showing them how to cut out neatly, and then they're going to take these images and they're going to actually glue them down onto these little tiles like so, to create their own little visual story that they can then wear. Which is so unbelievably super fun. I just give them some raffia. I have them design the front. I have them design the back. Bam, narrative necklaces in the house. So I think I got about 10 seconds left before I have to say goodbye. One more cool tip, actually I lied, 2 more cool tips is when your kids are dating stuff, get one of these great little date stamps, and they just go like this. Let's come back onto this little piece of paper here, and they go bam, just like that, and you can see that it's October 14th. There we go, and we know that it's done. And the last thing is, don't forget how cool it is to get your kids these, hold on, it hit the floor. Welcome to my TED Talk. These awesome blow pens, right? You take the ink out like so, put it in like so, turn it around. Have the kids have their own set, and then just like that, they're doing airbrush oh my gosh, takes every piece of artwork to the next level. Y'all stay in touch with me. Use your retired, old, seasoned art teachers because we're here to help. You guys have a great year. Peace out. And remember, together we art better.